What's up, everybody? I am Destroyar, your coach of the Emerald City Extreme Speed. Today I'm going to introduce you guys to one of two new teams that I'll be introducing you to this week. We are in Meloetta Draft League in Season 8. We have a brand new upload required division, Symphony, which we are playing in. We have a lot of top tier talent playing this season, so I'm really excited to be able to test my skills against some of the best that are in the game right now. A little bit about the draft. It's a standard tier format for the most part with really high tier Terra options available. We get 120 points to draft 9 to 11 Mon, as well as 30 points that we can use to designate Terra captains. It's a 16 team draft, and we picked second to last in the 15 spot. So with our first pick, we got Darkrai. Darkrai is one that I've drafted before in SPDA. We actually won that season. Darkrai was a big part of that, I think. And so we got Darkrai again. One of the things in these really competitive drafts is that the top tier Speedmon, which are not only fast but strong, go really, really fast. And so I really wanted to have a top tier Speedy Mon. We got him in Darkrai. Darkrai has really deep move pool. It also has great status options as well. It can just do a lot. It can, and because of its speed, it can be a setup threat as well as a choice user pretty easily. Excited to have him back on the team, pick up where we left off in SPDA. And yeah, going into our second pick, we have Garchomp, who oftentimes is a first round pick. Because we were picking at kind of close to the end, we got a really early first round pick, and we're really excited to be able to snag Garchomp. I did use Garchomp once before as a Terra captain. He's not allowed to be a Terra captain in this season. Excited to try him out again. He was a really good offensive threat, obviously, with like Swords Dance and Scale Shot setup stuff, but he's also really strong with hazards. He's got a usable special attack stat. Yeah, I'm excited again to kind of pick up where we left off. I feel like I had a good Garchomp intro before, but there's a lot more that I'd like to try out with him this season, and so excited to do that. Going into the third round, we're picking at the end of the third round. We got Scizor. We got Scizor because we really wanted a fairy killer. We have our first two picks with Darkrai and Garchomp being weak to fairy. This thing can switch into fairy attacks as well as just being able to switch into ice attacks for Garchomp. It's also a steel that's not weak to fighting, to help support switching in to Darkrai, who's weak to fighting. And with the Stab Bullet Punch, it's one of the best fairy killers in the game. I did not want a passive steal, I wanted an offensive steal, and Scizor is one of the best for that. Coming back an early fourth round pick. Felt a little bit early maybe to take him, but I really wanted to try this one out. I faced him a couple of times recently, and he's really kind of cooked me or come close to it. We're going with Terra Captain Ogerpon Teal. So, if you don't know, with Terra, it changes the ability to embody aspect for Ogerpon when terrestrialized, which gives it a speed boost. So it's basically a free choice scarf. This is also one of the only Mon that, this is the only Ogerpon that can hold an item. So we don't have our secondary stab option, which is unfortunate for Ogerpon Teal, but it's really nice to be able to hold an item as well as get that free speed boost. This thing can be an excellent disruptor with its with its speed boost as well as like Encore. We just faced and got cooked by a bulky disruptive set recently in LGA. It can also be a choice user or a setup sweeper. That speed boost just really allows it to be a really huge threat. So excited to have that as my primary Terra captain. Moving into round 5, we picked up another essential type for us as well as a really solid rapid spinner, and that is Blastoise. There was actually some other bulky waters that I was looking at that ended up getting taken before it came back to me, and so this kind of became the plan. We drafted Blastoise once before in WPF, but we also had Palafin on that team, and so I felt like I rarely had times where I wanted to bring two waters. In this case, this is really our only water, and so it can kind of have that role to itself without us doubling up on types. We actually had dropped it halfway through the season in WPF to get Terrazarud. That's another story. Yeah, hoping to give Blastoise another try. It can take hits really well. It can force people to have Mirror Herbs with its Shell Smash threat. And in general, it's just, again, a good bulky water and pivot as well as rapid spin support Mon. In the 6th round, we got 2 more really important types in one mon. One of my favorites that I've drafted multiple times before. It is Fezandipity. In draft, you always want to have a grounded poison to keep people from totally abusing toxic spikes into you. You also need to have a fairy because of its key resistances, as well as just keeping stuff, keeping dragons in check. With dragons are just a huge threat in general. Some of the most powerful mon in the game. Most of the pseudo legendaries are dragons, so having that fairy is really crucial. Again, we've got both of those in one. This is a mon that can pivot. It's very specially defensive, but it can also be physically bulky. This thing just seems like it can take hits from whatever weaknesses we have with our other mon. It can pivot out with U-turn. It can spread status with Toxic Chain. Just by doing U-turn or whatever attack it has I believe, a 30% chance to get badly poisoned. It can also do some physically offensive Swords Dance Technician sets even sometimes. Number of options available with Fez. Excited to have it back on the team. It really is just a important part to our defensive core. We continue with our defensive core in the 7th round, where we get Rotom Heat. Electrics were going really fast. This is the one that I wanted, so I was really excited that I was able to get it. I had some backups who got taken right before I was able to get him, so this was really a relief to pick up. But Rotom Heat is very unique in that it is a flying fairy resist. So this thing seemed to have the right resist to really support our team. Going through them quickly, it's resisting fairy for Darkrai and Garchomp. It's resisting ice for Garchomp. It's resisting fire for Ogerpon. It's resisting electric for Blastoise. It's resisting fire for Scizor, and it's resisting ground for Fezandipity. So it's just really a glue piece to our defensive core here. It's a pivot, obviously. I've drafted Rotom in different forms and multiple other leagues, and it's just always such a clutch little mon to have. So really excited to have Ogerpon to help balance out our team here. Moving into the 8th round, we get Mesprit. Mesprit, it's just, again, a really good support mon. That's kind of our first 4 picks were really to get offensive pressure. These next 4 have been to get really good support for our team. So this is a secondary Stealth Rock user that I can use to kind of free up Garchomp from having to be our hazard setter. It can also be an offensive threat as well on its own. It's got just really nice stats in general. As far as just the 107 across the board almost. We can use Nasty Plot as well as Calm Mind on this. We can use double screens. We can use Healing Wish. We can paralyze things. We can yawn things. It's just a great support mon, but also a possible good special attacker for us to have. Next up, we are going with our breaker, which is Terra Conkeldurr, our second Terra Captain here. I always love to have kind of the guts users on my team because they are essentially choice band users who are not stuck in one move. I think this also pairs well, going back to Mesprit for a little bit. This is a great Trick Room mon. It's slower than like a Ursaluna, who we oftentimes like to use. It can beat an Ursaluna. Unfortunately, the Ursaluna drafted in this one is a Terra one, so that's not going to be as easy, but yeah, it can. It's slower than most things. It can do heavy damage with Guts, as well as Sheer Force, as well as even Iron Fist. It's almost kind of like just a fighting type Ursaluna. But it also has Bullet Punch. So with like Iron Fist, Bullet Punch does not Bullet Punch, Mach Punch does quite a bit of damage to quite a bit of things. So this is a slow mon that also has really strong priority options. One I've never tried before, needed a fighting type, and this just really seemed like the right pick. We have a lot of good speed on our team. It's also important and not always talked about that you want kind of some slower mons as well to prevent Trick Room from being abused on you, as well as just to help flesh out your speed tiers and kind of force people to spend their EVs in speed when they're building against you more. We had 5 points left for our last mon, and we got ourselves a Sableye. Been wanting to try out Sableye again. I used him kind of for a partial season in the past. He's just such a really annoying little mon. A really good spin blocker, obviously as a ghost. It's also like a screen breaker blocker. Being a ghost type as well as a dark type, Psychic Fangs cannot be used on it, Brick Break can't be used on it. It can set screens itself, obviously, with Prankster. It also has Prankster, Thunder Wave, and Will-O-Wisp, as well as Encore. It's just a very disruptive, annoying little mon, and I think that it's going to fit in really well on our team. It's probably not going to come every week, but it's one that we can use to disrupt setup as well as be a spin blocker if we're going more hazard stack strategy in any given week. So that's the team. I'm really excited to try this one out. It's got a couple of mon that I'm comfortable with and have used before, as well as some that are brand new to me. Again, this is going to be a really competitive season, so I'm hoping that we can do well. I think we're going to do well. I always expect that we're going to do well, but it's going to be really tough for us. I think we're going to have a slate of really good, highly competitive battles ahead of us, and I'm excited to share those with you guys. So we're going to be shooting to upload on Thursdays and Fridays for this league. Hope to see you guys then.